Arts 2062. Look at me, look at me. I've got one word to say to you. Australia's cultural identity is successfully portrayed in the comedy Kath and Kim, representing suburban families in Australia in an exaggerated yet somewhat accurate mockumentary style. It's different, it's nice, it's unusual.
Kath and Kim is in fact all of these things. Looking at the time frame that Kath and Kim became popular in Australia compared with other high-rated television programs.
G'day, welcome to the program.
Sale of the century.
As John McCallum points out, we can see that Kath and Kim is a raw type of comedy with a related set of issues about the relationship between suburbia, comedy, and the concept of national identity. Throughout the history of Australian television, we have been prone to importing programs because it is cheaper than filming our own. Therefore, an Australian presence on TV was limited to lifestyle and quiz shows rather than drama or comedy.
Subsequent to the advent of colour in 1976, our soap opera series and mini-series began to flourish and were quite a hit with overseas audiences.
We wish to argue that the crux of Kath and Kim's success lies in its unique form and cultural content, resulting in only being appreciated by Australian audiences. As Sue Turnbull says, we laugh when we observe a rule of language or behaviour being broken.
So, Kath didn't tell me, when's the baby due?
I'm not pregnant.
But in order to be able to laugh, we must first know and understand that rule. If some rules of behaviour are culturally and linguistically specific, then this helps to explain why certain kinds of comedy do not travel, in that the implicit rule may not be readily understood in another cultural context.
Anne-Marie Cook also talks about the failure of both mother and daughter to follow the rules of fashion, language, motherhood, and general decorum, which generates plenty of laughter. This is linked with Australians' ability to be laid back and accepting about this rather than take offence, yet also we are in denial about our national humour. Kath and Kim was tried in America and it was not successful there for many reasons. Most importantly, it was the way the homegrown humour tried to cross borders. Sue Turnbull states that successful comedy depends not only on the performance but also the body of the performer.
As Mariette Hardy noted somewhat waspishly in relation to Selma Blair's portrayal of American Kim, it's genuinely difficult not to come away with somewhat of a dislike for the manner in which she juts out her tiny belly and plays at being a fat person. Also arising from this history are a related set of issues about the relationship between suburbia, comedy, and the concept of national identity. In his important essay on Australian comedy, John McCallum defines Australian as a colonial society continually looking over its shoulders to its imperial masters, using comedy as a form of self-definition in the creation of in-group solidarity. Embedded in our cultural identity is an ability to make fun of ourselves.
Kath and Kim was not the first in the breed of hybrid comedy. The faces behind Kath, Kim, and Sharon, Jane Turner, Gina Riley, and Magdishka Bansky, came from many sketch shows before the success of Kath and Kim. The ideas and style of Kath and Kim stems from various sketch shows such as Big Girl Blouse, Something Stupid, and Fast Forward.
Alexander Downer. Live now as the two Australian competitors attempt to book a double bed in a hotel.
Can I help you, ladies? Yes, we'd like a double room, thanks.
Very strong staff from the girls there.
Cassandra, can you please towel off my client at the basin? Jesus! Okay, Jesus. Haven't your magazine anything? New Woman, New Weekly, New Testament?
New Weekly?
Okay.
My wife, let's bring her out now, Kath.
Thanks so much for your time. Look, tonight is Caitlin's night. Caitlin, my daughter, turns 21 tonight. Now, look at Caitlin now. Look at Caitlin. She's a beautiful, blossoming girl. No, God bless your life. Good luck to you, and good luck to you and to Greg, the father, wherever he is.
The trio's work follows in the footsteps of other satirical shows such as The Games and Frontline.
Hello, I'm Mike Moore.
Welcome to Frontline.
And various shows of Chris Lilly, which play on reality and make fun of our culture.
By the rescue workers. Oh, I hit the ground and it's a
Wong lab. Ricky Wong's lab. Sing to them in their language. Like, I don't actually know their language, but I just make up.
Kath and Kim also owe much to the reality show Sylvania Waters, an expose on Australian suburban life.
While they're not being presented as the typical Australian family, they will be seen here and overseas as Mr. and Mrs. Australia, embodying all the cliches of the land of opportunity.
Television curator Kate Matthews speaks about the postmodern blending that has created a genre mashup, loosely referred to as reality comedy in Australian television. While it borrows stylistic elements of documentary-like handheld camera work, real locations and voiceovers, Kath and Kim stop short of giving the characters the awareness they are being filmed.
Kath and Kim has been called a fly-on-the-wall sitcom, a genre mashup of the more traditional, script-driven situation comedy and the reality TV mockumentary style. The filming techniques of Kath and Kim highlight its unique mockumentary style. Techniques such as camera movement, establishing shots, handheld camera, and various language techniques contribute to Kath and Kim's aesthetics.
There is lots of panning and zooming in and out. The camera follows the characters as if it is another character. Close-ups in scenes of tension or confrontation, and long shots which allude to their skit show background, giving it an almost theatrical or improvised feel. The establishing shots, often accompanied by music, set up the scene and show various Australian landmarks or stereotypes.
The technique for which Kath and Kim is remembered is the remarkable language, not just the hyperbolic accent and the stereotypical slang, but the clever techniques such as repetition and malapropism, which it is renowned for. The misuse of a word through confusion with another word that sounds similar, especially when the effect is ridiculous.
I want to be effluent, Mum. Effluent. Where specifically in the specific were you going to go? I'll have a Chardonnay, thanks, Jared.
Madonna Penn Ritchie, Jennifer Pitt Aniston, Courtney Loves Cox.
What does that specifically entail?
Since Australia's cultural identity is successfully portrayed in the comedy Kath and Kim, in an exaggerated yet somewhat accurate mockumentary style of suburban families in Australia. It's different, it's nice, it's unusual.